Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we are unlocking a really fantastic grammar mystery together. We're going to dive straight into a structure that native speakers use all the time, but, one that can honestly feel kind of like a puzzle when you're first learning it. We're going to decode the simple past passive, and we're going to make it totally clear and simple. I'm so excited to share this with you, so let's just get right to it.
Imagine a classic detective setup. An event happened in the past. A bank was robbed, a window was broken, maybe a famous painting disappeared. But the actual doer of the action, completely missing from the scene. So, what happens when you want to talk about that event, but you literally don't know who did it? Or maybe you just don't really care who did it. Well, that is exactly where our grammatical magnifying glass comes in today.
Here is our roadmap for the explainer. Number 1, the core formula. Number 2, the 4 steps to transform. Number 3, real-life contexts. And number 4, avoiding common mistakes.
Okay, let's jump right into section 1, the core formula.
So, what is the simple past passive, really? Well, it's used to describe actions completed in the past where the focus is entirely on the receiver or the object of the action rather than who actually performed it. Think of the passive voice as our special built-in tool for shifting the spotlight. Instead of the person doing the action getting all the attention, we're effectively making the object the absolute star of the show.
Let's compare these two directly so you can really feel the shift. In the active voice, we have Shakespeare wrote Hamlet. The focus there is strictly on who did it, the famous playwright Shakespeare. But check out the passive voice. Hamlet was written by Shakespeare. See how the play itself moves right to the very front? We're now focusing entirely on what happened. The who did it gets pushed to the end, or honestly, it can even be dropped entirely. Let's break down the basic math of this grammar. Your core formula is always going to rely on your subject, followed by either was or were, and then verb 3, the past participle. So for a positive sentence, the team built the house transforms into the house was built by the team. If it's negative, you simply squeeze a not right after your was or were, and it becomes the house was not built by the team. And for questions, or interrogatives, you just flip the was or were straight to the front. Was the house built by the team? The absolutely crucial thing to remember here is your auxiliary verb. You have to use was for singular subjects, like the house, and were for plural subjects.
Moving right along to section 2, the 4 steps to transform.
I like to call this the grammar machine. If you follow 4 very specific steps, you can turn any active past tense sentence into a passive one. Step 1. Identify your active components. Just find the subject, the past verb, and the object. Step 2. Grab that object and move it to the front to act as your brand new subject. Step 3. Insert your magic words, either was or were plus verb 3, making sure it perfectly matches that new subject you just moved. And finally, Step 4. Add the agent using the word by, well, if it's actually relevant to your story.
Okay, let's put this machine to the test with a real example. Our active sentence is, the mechanic repaired the cars yesterday. Step 1, let's identify. The mechanic is the subject, repaired is the verb, and the cars is the object. Step 2, we move the object. The cars goes right to the front. Step 3, we insert our formula. Since cars is plural, we insert were repaired. And step 4, we add the agent, by the mechanic. Boom, there it is. The cars were repaired yesterday by the mechanic. You can see exactly how the cars got promoted to the starring role.
All right, section 3, real-life contexts. So why do we actually use this in our daily lives? Well, there are exact real-life scenarios where the passive voice is basically required. First off, we use it when the doer of the action is a complete mystery. Think about the sentence, my wallet was stolen last night. You have literally no idea who took it, so the wallet has to be the main focus. Second, we use it when the doer is incredibly obvious. The criminal was arrested this morning. I mean, we all know the police do the arresting, right? Saying by the police is just unnecessary. And finally, we rely on it heavily for historical facts and news reports, like the city was destroyed by an earthquake in 1906. In news and history, the event itself is just the most important thing to get across. Take a look at this historical fact. Electricity was invented in the 19th century. This perfectly illustrates what we're talking about. Historical facts rely so heavily on the passive voice because the achievement itself, the actual invention of electricity, matters so much more to us today than reciting the specific names of every single person who worked on it. The passive voice elevates the discovery itself, making it the undeniable center of our attention.
Finally, we have Section 4, Avoiding Common Mistakes.
Before we wrap up, I really need to guide you around a couple of traps that beginners almost always fall into. The first major trap is confusing V2, your past simple, with V3, your past participle. For regular verbs, they look completely identical. Played is both V2 and V3. But the danger, the real danger, lies in the irregular verbs. Ate becomes eaten, broke becomes broken. You absolutely must remember that passive sentences demand the V3 form. It's super common to accidentally say the window was broke, but now you know the formula requires that V3, the window was broken.
And here is the final trap. Consider this totally incorrect sentence. The tests was corrected. The absolutely crucial point here is the subject-verb agreement shift. The word was or were has to match the brand new subject sitting at the front of the sentence, not the original doer of the action. Even though there was only one single teacher doing the correcting, the new subject is the tests, and that's plural. Therefore, it absolutely must be the tests were corrected by the teacher. Always double-check your new subject.
And just like that, that brings us to the end of our explainer today. But before you go, I want to leave you with a quick provocative question. What great things were learned by you today? Notice what we did there? We actively used that simple past passive formula to put the focus entirely on the great things. I highly encourage you to review these concepts, practice those 4 transformational steps we talked about, and just keep exploring how everyday objects become the stars of their own sentences. Thanks so much for joining me, and keep learning.